Yes, graduates, welcome to Hard Talk Podcast with HTK. Fasten your seatbelts.
Hold on a door scroll, listen. Don't know say the voice of the great 21 shine out, what them a talk about. Big up a real youth, them and know say them a come from nowhere and I look for go somewhere. Some people don't remember where them a come from, but always remember this. If you don't know your past, you don't know your future. You hear that? Shine out.
Hey, users and subscribers, welcome back to another episode of Hard Talk with HTK. Macombo, the lady that the police killed in Granville. Yes, Macombo, Lady Buju. Because what I saw on this video really shocked me. It really disturbed my peace. I don't even know where to start with this other than to replay what of the video that I can, what I'm allowed to play on YouTube. But take a look for yourself. Now, the disgraceful part of the video that I just cannot show, out of respect for Lady Buju's wife. That's right, I said wife. And her two sons. I am just going to talk about it. How the policemen, including the one who brutally took her life, picked up her body and threw it in the back of the truck with no regard, no respect, like she was a dead animal, a dead dog on the side of the street. Is this what we have come to, Jamaica? Is this what we have come to? Me said the thing hurt me, it hurt me, it hurt me so till. Now people are going to argue and say, listen, this lady drove off and she could have taken out the police officer. I saw her turn her vehicle, and I'm just going to slow down this part. Look carefully how she turned her vehicle away from the officer, not towards him, in order to go around the officer after dropping off people from her vehicle. She's moving on her way. Now, what we are not privy to is whether or not the police officer said stop, disembark, all of that. We don't know if those things were said. But what I visually see is a solitary police officer standing in the way of the vehicle with no communication coming from his mouth. His gesticulations remain locked to his weapon. That is what I see. And then I see him then retaliate because she drove away from him, out of the way. He must have felt as though she was coming towards him. I don't know. He felt threatened, possibly. But what reason would this woman have to be attacking the officer? That's another question. So, okay, let us say that she was not stopping. She failed to comply. She was driving away when the police officer said, stop. This is a reason for her to be killed in cold blood like that? I mean, is this woman guilty of a crime? Is she wanted by the police? Is she wanted for questioning? Something tells me that these Granville police need retraining. Something tells me that that entire unit of police officers have got serious problems going on. St. James is at risk. The citizens of St. James are not safe. If I saw these Granville officers just go around the place and just take out people like that. 3 so far unalived in Granville, St. James. 3 murdered.
4-year-old. I think I know the same place to Granville. Isn't it Granville? In January 1st, New Year's Day. Wasn't it Granville? And wasn't it Granville again last week Sunday for Mother's Day? Wasn't it Granville again last week Sunday for Mother's Day? Uno take a woman pitney for her. Uno murder the woman pitney in a Granville last week Sunday. I want to come back today and you would have thought that a community that is hurting, a community where I go through so much, the dirty thinking police them, it give the people them a break.
Now, you see, when I replay this video, I replay it over and over again, people. And I looked at the angle. I looked at when the police officer pulled his weapon and fired. And the distance that I could see between her vehicle and the police officer. I can clearly see Lady Buju just barely managing to turn her vehicle and accelerate slightly. This man was not in the direct path, in that she could have had ample time to slow down so that he could move back. All of that. She was just making it clear that she's coming out. You understand? The man steps back. He did not have to run or scamper. He was able to ambly step back from the vehicle, then pull his weapon and release. That means that there was adequate time for him to get out of the way, adequate time for her to also avoid hitting the officer. It was not a case of this would have been a direct collision if she did go in. No, she was not going at an accelerated pace. There was no reason for him to fire his weapon.
Not one to jump to hasty conclusion. And I do believe in process and investigation, but based on what I've observed on the scene, the commissioner will have to take immediate action in relation to the officer in this matter.
Why would you say that, though, madam?
Well, you know, I think this one doesn't look so good. Can't prejudge it, but it doesn't look good.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know what I genuinely feel? And this is what I feel in my stomach, in the pit of my stomach. I think this man took one look on this woman and realized that she was one of those from the rainbow community. And his venom towards her was what made him think that she was dispensable. I believe that there was prejudice involved in his actions. Yes. Members say a fair community this. And many would have known say she married to a female. Jamaicans have got strong homophobic resentment towards women like this. And a lot of men don't like the fact that here is a woman who is living her life in a masculine form and thinks that she can dare to challenge his authority. He weaponized his authority to take her life out. He knew he had the ability to do so, and he did it at the soonest opportunity, recklessly and fecklessly, did not care about her life. That is why they handled her like an animal and put her in the back of the truck, because them narrate her. I am telling you that it is more to it. They didn't treat her like a female. No. They treated her like a criminal man. No. When it comes to who Lady Buju actually is.
If you see me down, know that I am going to rise like the phoenix from the ash. I'll never stay down.
She does live what you call a kind of alternate lifestyle. And I have seen her TikToks, indeed, where it looks as though she's in Miami, Florida. Most of the time. That's where her marriage took place. That's where she has been living her life as a lesbian married to a woman. And when you see her in her TikToks, she often refers to her love for her family, including her mother, who passed away. And here it is in this video. She is seen saying her farewells, but also brandishing a weapon. Now, as to whether or not this is legal, I cannot speak to that, but we all know that in Florida, you have the right to bear, in America, you have the right to bear your arms, right? And brandishing your arms like this, not necessarily a wise move. You see, people, we have to be so careful about the energy that we release into the atmosphere. Be so careful about the energy that we release, because even though she was mourning her mother, she moving like this is going to give the impression to those back in Jamaica that she's a gun girl. Yeah. And people are going to look on her and think, say, oh, you think you're bad. And therefore, they're always going to be thinking that maybe she in Jamaica moving the same way as she move in America, where it might be legal for her to do so. Listen, I am not going to say that Lady Buju was living no criminal lifestyle at all. From what I have seen online, I cannot put that out there into the atmosphere. But what I can say is that her masculinity that she emanated was sometimes toxic, in that it is that reflection of gangsterism that really and truly does not work in your favor when being handled by members of the law. Because members of the law will stereotype you and deal with you like a gangster or a criminal. So I know a lot of judgment is going to come towards Lady Buju. It already started on my page, you know. People are already referred to her as a gun girl, a gun woman, a gun man. You understand? And that the officer had every right to do what they had to do. But the woman was not presenting a threat. That is the point. You cannot take stereotypes of people and use it in order to surpass the law and deliver your judgment without due processes. It's not right. It isn't right. And in this case, I have not seen her do anything that would have resulted in the death of the officer. Maybe when the officer stepped back, words were exchanged and we can't really pick that up on the camera. Maybe. So, you try to tell me, say, somebody faced the video, you're going to take out them life? Huh? Our officers are now moving like the officers in America, as though they don't have any regard for human life. Is this how we're dealing with our Jamaican citizens now? Anyway, I want you to take a listen to the brief perspective of Isat Buchanan.
Listen to a joke when I make Jamaica, a joke when I make Jamaica. Isaac, go ahead because man,
no, man, I'm taken aback by the conduct, because I'm telling you, there's no you can't. It's almost like somebody is sewing a quilt, because you have the young men, the brothers in Stairfield, that they just go in the middle of the night and they murder. It's murder. And the constant PR that comes behind it about the conduct of persons. And I'm telling you, Jamaica is not safe for ordinary citizens. This is not a crime fighting technique. This is an assault on citizens and breach of constitutional rights. It's human rights, you know. It may be that Jamaicans don't respect human rights because they don't understand it and they don't know it. But I can tell you that in the world, in the free world, the first world, I just want people to appreciate how important human rights is to your existence. It is the only thing that prevents people from trampling on your existence because you're not rich. because you're not from the leading class, you're not from the elite class. And Jamaicans who think it cannot happen to them, the women who used to sit under the comments and say, good job, JCF, it's now happening to women. What now? You understand? What now? That is the question to ask. And this is not, let me just make it absolutely clear. This is not a political conversation. This is a conversation about the protection of life and understanding the right to life. Yes? This is the same space where just the other day they kill a teenager on Mother's Day. Yeah, I would not want to hear that this is the young man's mother or a relative, but I know that the demeanor of the officer, an investigation has to be launched immediately. The mental health of that officer has to be checked before he's allowed to be unleashed on Jamaica a day, not even another day. And this is where we are right now, where people, where we laugh and we don't take mental health seriously. Now I'm being told that they just remove him from duty, but he's also to be detained and he's to get a lawyer. And I don't know if he's one of them that say we are the untouchables, but there are officers who are out there that feel that they are the untouchables. And it is time now that due process is instituted and they go through the same process. You cannot get up and murder a son or a daughter of Jamaica just like that. Yes? It cannot happen like that. Somebody's family, somebody has lost a breadwinner. Somebody's entire family. Yeah? An entire family has gone beyond, is experiencing trauma from an action that could have been prevented. This is completely unacceptable. And I'm going to say this was not sanctioned by the JCF or the state or anybody. I refuse to believe that.
Yes, indeed, I do 100% agree. It is a complete breach of human rights. And for those of you who think that the officer was within his rights to do what he did, the latest release from the press is that the police officer has been interdicted. And for those of you who don't know what interdicted means, it means that he has had his authority prohibited or forbidden, meaning that he cannot operate as a police officer while the investigation is taking place. I really appreciate the fact that they have done that, because somebody like this cannot be left to just meander through the streets and interact with citizens as though nothing is going on. INDECOM is deeply probing what is going on, along with the Inspectorate Professional Standards Oversight Bureau. Now, the Member of Parliament of the St. James West Central, Marlene Malahu Forte, was on the scene, and she was asking the residents not to take anything into their own hands.
And I know that the community is angry, grieving, and searching for answers. The good thing is that the investigation is being assisted by camera footage. And the investigation has proceeded swiftly. I want to ask you to stay on the right side of the law. I don't want any response in the community to result in a suppression of anything. So I know that you are angry. Be angry, but sin not. Be assured that answers will come in this case. Because what has happened today is not right. No. So, difficult as it might be, I'm asking you to keep the peace and allow me to make the representation on your behalf. And there is no division along party lines in dealing with this matter. So we don't have to bring partisan politics in it. But you can be assured that the answers will come in this case.
Swiftly.
Right? So, beg you, go home if you can. Look out for each other. I just don't want anything that will result in any security measure that has to be imposed in the space.
Right.
And then it becomes worse. There are a lot of young children in the space, a lot of mothers and fathers. Beg you, go home. Let the law take its course. And I hear you, I understand the distrust, I understand the situation, but we're going to have to let the law take its course. Coming back tomorrow. All right?
Yes.
Coming back.
And I agree with her because things can get really out of hand. It's only moments before that we had the murder of the 17-year-old Tajay Edwards by members of the security forces. It is indeed extremely disturbing that police officers feel they have such a right to basically take a life without any reason or justification at all, other than feeling slightly uncomfortable or potentially predicting your behavior as threatening. Because this woman, as I said, did nothing to show that she was attacking the officer. All she showed was that she was departing from the scene. And I am not hearing in any of the news reports any arguments that stated this officer had said, stop, had said, do not leave. I have seen no reports of that at all. So, me I really like to hear what the results of this investigation is going to lead to. Because I can smell a cover-up coming. I can smell oh, she resisted. Oh, she was told to stop and she did not. Oh, she used the vehicle as a weapon. Not a thing go so. Do not be fooled, Jamaica. This is a genocide of a different nature. The police brutality that we are witnessing now and the way in which bodies are being handled from crime scenes is ridiculous. I do not understand the inhumane way in which this woman was picked up from the vehicle, dragged along the ground and thrown into the back of a truck with no remorse. I do not understand it because, first of all, after something like that happens, where a shooting has taken place, shouldn't that area have been cordoned off? Shouldn't that body have been collected by forensics? Shouldn't it have been the case of, listen, we need to prove that this was necessary? No, you can't move the body. You can't move the body. How is it that we are just moving bodies straight from crime scene into truck? To cover up what? Andrew Holness, sir, you need to do something about how your police officers are behaving. You need to do something about the processes that are happening when it comes to justice in the streets. Because this is unacceptable by any standard at all. It is a moment of shame and disgrace. I can only wish all of the family members of Lady Buju my condolences and sympathies. I can only extend that because you have got a fight on your hands for justice. And I truly hope you take on that mantle and see to it that her death does not go in vain. If you have made it this far into the video, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, click that bell if you are new to my channel. This is your girl, Head Teacher K, and I'm out.